So like Sunday Night Football though is Monday morning.
Asleep. Yeah, he's asleep. But the
Not
thing
if
that
the
makes
Bears
me
are
happy
playing.
is-
Like imagine are they allowed to even watch TV? Or is that like blasphemous?
I don't know.
No, they are, because guess what? When the Pope was waiting to be, elected through the conclave, peep this. He watched the conclave. He played video games. He's the first baby boomer Pope, and it shows.
You know what's cool is the smoke idea.
Wait, baby boomer or Gen X?
69 years old. He's a baby boomer.
Okay, that's a boomer?
That's a boomer.
No, look at Craig trying to take credit. No, he's not your generation.
I don't know what generation I am.
Younger than Homer.
He is.
Wow.
Did you hear about Craig disrespect? Oh, Craig, did you hear about Strouf disrespecting Homer this week?
We can go ahead and skip that.
No.
He told him, shut your mouth, old man.
I did say that. And Homer, then Kyle said I was disrespectful, and Homer went off on Kyle for telling him how to feel.
Yeah. So the NBA second round has been insanity. NBA, it's supposed to be like, oh, we have home court advantage. We play the whole year for home court advantage. Does anyone know what the record is in the second round for teams who have home court?
It's not good.
You know what it is in the Eastern Conference? There have been 6 games. How many have been won by the home team?
0.
None of them.
0-6 in the Bucks conference. We thought about the whole year. Bucks don't have home court going into the postseason. They're the 5 seed. The road teams are 0-6 in the second. The home teams are 0-6 in the second round of the playoffs, which is wild, and it makes you think that much more about how close things could have been, where the Bucks were. Now, maybe you guys aren't still thinking about it that way, but when I think back to those last 35 seconds of Game 5, and my thoughts are certainly not a lot on that. My thoughts are much more on next year. Where are you, Stroufy, in terms of thinking about the Bucks next year?
Well, I'll start with this because I think it's the biggest topic. The biggest question is where will Giannis be?
Are you right? Of course, but are you sitting on? Are you sitting on? Because to me, what I think is going to be huge, and I said this to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, is Monday, right?
Mm-hmm. The lottery. Yeah.
Monday's the draft lottery. So let's just say.
Wait a minute. So are we going to see? Are you about to tell me based off what teams get what will determine whether or not Giannis is a Buck?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that's the next day that's going to change the public narrative around this.
Because let's just use Utah as the example. I know it's probably not a great example. Let's just use Utah.
No. Let's use San Antonio as an example.
Oh,
sure.
Or let's use Houston as an example.
Craig, you must be listening to Kyle Bruston Norman.
No, it's just common sense.
Wouston has the best assets.
I mean, either I was listening to Kyle Bruston Norman or I picked 2 teams that common sense wise, would make it intriguing.
You could have cross-promoted our show. Thanks, Craig.
You already did.
I'm happy to be back with you, Craig.
Chess versus checkers on display right here on Sunday Karma. So, and you're going to know this better than me, but does Houston have a path to the number 1 overall pick or no?
Yeah. Houston has Phoenix's number 1 pick.
Okay. Well, so it's unlikely, but there is a path.
Right.
There.
So
But
I'm
still,
saying
they have
both Houston and San Antonio has multiple shots at the lottery. So if either of those teams win, there's going to naturally be the thought of, oh my God, they now, on top of all these other assets they have, whether it's draft picks or young players under team-friendly contracts, they also now have Cooper Flagg, who's considered on a rookie contract one of the most valuable assets in the entire NBA.
Yeah, one of the most generational prospects in a few years, probably since Zion. But if I'm John Horst, I just don't know how you answer the phone call and even listen. That's the part I've struggled with this whole conversation.
And I don't think that's even the direction most people who are Bucks fans are thinking. They're more thinking like, oh my God, what's Giannis going to do? What's Giannis going to do? Not like, what are the Bucks going to do?
That's not what I'm worried about.
Yeah, so
really?
No.
The ball's in Giannis's court, though, and when Giannis he has eyes, and he knows basketball.
I understand this, and it goes back to the debate we were having Friday, Kyle, on KBN, and that's, I read the comment he leaves on Bobby Portis talking about all the speculation, and he says, quote, "Don't worry about me," end quote. And, Kyle's got trust issues, so that makes him even more worried about what Giannis will do.
Wait, that made you more worried?
But to me, that says, don't worry about me, I'm back.
Yeah.
Are you saying that's like, don't worry, just worry about yourself and don't worry about me? Yeah. I mean, what do you,
Craig?
Wait, and why do you explain the post? Because not everyone's.
Sure.
Okay.
So Bobby Portis appeared on FanDuel TV with Michelle Beadle and was talking about the Giannis, what do we want to call it, saga at this point? And Giannis commented on the post and said, don't worry about me, Bobby. What are you doing, staying or leaving?
Yeah.
And two notes in there, right? Don't worry about me. A, it indicates to me he's not going anywhere. And B, staying. He says, are you staying or leaving?
Yeah.
Staying says Milwaukee, right?
Right.
So
you're saying staying because that would indicate Giannis is here, so staying with.
It seems to me like that's a recruitment pitch by Giannis.
Yep.
Which means he's not going anywhere. So
wait, and Kyle, what's your take on this? So you see that post differently?
Yeah, I see it post differently. Also, you can go to ESPN Milwaukee, ESPN Madison on YouTube to see the post really quickly. But yeah, I see it a little bit differently because of the fact that it says, "Don't worry about me. What are you doing, Bobby?" And he kind of did the laughing emoji. When somebody says, "Don't worry about me," they're kind of just saying, "Don't worry."
Are you saying it's more like take care of yourself? Like
Yeah,
I'll do me. I don't need anyone to put their stuff in my mouth.
I do think it's somewhat playful of him saying, "Don't worry about me, Bobby. Focus on you." But also,
and it is a tie. Leicester and Forest have tied. So we will give you the updated table as we sit right now. All teams having played 36 games except for Liverpool and Arsenal. Kyle, we are now 82 points for Liverpool. They have clinched the Premier League. Arsenal with 67 points. They have one game in hand.
Arsenal.
Newcastle after their
Newcastle United is third place. Now
Newcastle with their victory today on.
What is happening in Europe in the Premier League? This is unimaginable. Newcastle is now third place.
Yeah, they have so much money. Newcastle, they're owned by a sovereign wealth fund. Newcastle.
What does that mean?
One game. That means they're owned by Middle Eastern.
Oh, Middle Eastern oil money.
They're one game clear of Man City, who only were able to secure 1 point yesterday against Southampton.
Southampton. Oh my gosh, they should have had.
Who has a league low 12 points? Who has a league low 12 points?
Oh.
And then
blasphemous.
Chelsea.
Preposterous.
Chelsea, who today loses to Newcastle. So they're in a tie with Aston Villa at 63 points. Forest 1 point behind at 62.
What it would be just amazing if Nottingham Forest was to win. Cheerio, bloke.
Yeah, that's.
If you do soccer updates, I require an accent.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
agreed.
I can't stand it.
Agreed. All right, so.
Greg, you just cut off the
Kyle. So
conversation.
Yeah,
I don't even know where we're at.
You were done. You said cheerio. That's goodbye.
No, he was saying the Bucks conversation.
Oh well, that was his ADD.
Yeah,
that wasn't me.
Oh wow, you're gonna diagnos my guy like that?
I've diagnosed him multiple times in the show. There's without a doubt he has ADD.
No. We're just keeping everyone informed. Like when you're on live during some of the biggest events in the world of football, and people tune into this show expecting football to be updated,
Craig,
whether it's American or UK. Whatever kind of football. People expect on a Sunday morning show that we're going to talk football, and when there's a big football game going on, like there was at Forest, we're going to give you an update.
You very much disagree with the ADD diagnosis. You think you are doing your duties as a sports radio host to fill in everybody.
Of course, yeah. I'm just keeping people up. I mean, I haven't given you any Barcelona updates, and that's a big game going on right now. But we're sticking. If I had ADD, I'd be giving you that update, which I'm not.
Sure.
I'm very focused. I'm keeping us very focused on the show today.
I do want to know, Craig. Your level of confidence of Giannis being a Milwaukee Buck for fans. Do you think fans should feel pretty good that the organization is going to do everything they can to keep Giannis? Like there won't be because for me,
dude, how could you ask that question?
I mean, do you feel?
No, but I'm saying like look at again actions over words, as they like to say on Brian Windhorst and the Hoop Collective. What have the Bucks organization done since the day? The Wes Edens, Mark Lazary, like they've done everything. If anything, people would say they've done too much. Because the Drew Holiday trade and then the Dame trade has made it so that we don't have as many assets as people would want, and it's because pretty much every time Giannis has been extension eligible, the team has gone over the top to try to win now and go all in.
My biggest concern is I appreciate people, but when Bud got fired, it let me know that this is a business. My biggest concern is John Horst. John Horst is the one who's pulling the strings, and John Horst got us a championship. But You can't control injuries, but at the end of the day, this team has not performed up to the level that they needed to. This is not once, not twice, but 3 times in a row being put out in the first round. Just isn't good enough, and I'm losing faith in the ability of John Horst to get us to a championship, to build a roster around Giannis. So I'm concerned that Giannis may look at this and say, how do I trust you to build a championship?
But you're talking about
me?
building a roster around Giannis when Giannis was hurt in those postseasons.
Two of those postseasons, Giannis was the one injured.
And I know the Heat, the first Heat one.
I don't get the losing faith in Horst part of it. I don't understand that one.
So Kyle, last offseason, the Bucks had 3 spots that were available on the roster, and they could only sign minimum contract people, and they signed DeLon Wright, who did not work out in a big way. Torian Prince, who led the NBA in 3-point shooting, and Gary Trent, who was a integral part of. And those are minimum contracts. How could you?
You're missing the biggest thing though. Is the fact that he's not just here to sign players and try to find deals of Gary Trent, who's probably going to walk at this point after this because he only signed a 1-year deal, didn't he?
He was a minimum. Yeah. So the mid-level exemption is available. So the mid-level exemption, because of the Chris Middleton, Kyle Kuzma trade, is now in play.
But you also need to be able to draft and develop. And that is the problem what the Milwaukee Bucks have had during the Horst era, is they have not been able to draft.
Kyle, name one player in the last 3 years that's contributed that's picked between 20 and 30. Go.
I mean, I have to look up. Who
do you want?
I'll go look. Trust me, I can go look up and down. But at the end of the day, we have nobody. You can't tell me there's not one player
because
in the last
they're not
few years.
picking in the lottery, Kyle. Because they've been a competitor every year.
So what I'm gonna do for you? I'm gonna look between.
Wait, by the way, I believe Andre Jackson can be a contributor to the Bucks.
He was a starter for half of the season,
but then he got benched. That's a problem.
Right. I'm saying this year he did, but he started 40 games and he was a contributor to meaningful basketball. Now, I will say, I just picked up a random draft.
There's probably names
from a few years ago. Brandon Podziemski, 29. Cam Whitmore, 20. Ben Shepherd, who is in the rotation for the Pacers, was picked 26 in that draft. Julian Strather, kind of outside of the Nuggets rotation, pick number 29 in that draft.
Last year, I know Keyshawn George was playing pretty well for the
Ajax was picked 36 in that draft. Pretty good value when you're looking who else is around. And I'm going through all the people below, and I mean, that's a pretty good value selection.
We do this all the time with the Packers.
Trace Jackson Davis did start last night for Golden State. He was pick 57.
If you've got pick 4, it's a little bit easier to grab an instant contributor.
So
when you're drafting 26, if you have a pick.
What you're telling me is this.
I'd rather have Damian Lillard than a scrub, yes.
Okay, so what you're saying is this, is that I'm not saying scrub. John Horst has had an opportunity to pick in the first round, and he hasn't hit anything. I'm not saying you got to hit every year, but I'm saying if you hit twice in the last, 7 seasons has been. I mean, that's all I'm asking for. I'm not asking for a whole bunch. I'm just saying, man, if you take a lot of swings at least give me somebody. We have gotten nobody, and that is a problem. We could talk about the second round pick and Ajax. Ajax wasn't good enough. The Bucks have not done a good enough job to build a roster around Giannis through the draft. That's the problem, and that's where I'm apprehensive when it comes to John Horst. That's it. He just has shown that he cannot evaluate in the draft, and the Bucks have not been willing to develop young guys through the draft. And to me, that's how you build the roster. I thought when we drafted A.J. Johnson last year, I thought when we drafted him, that was going to be for the second act. When we drafted,
but then you just said, are the Bucks willing to go all in and make sure Giannis knows and all that? That's the balance, right?
But at what point are you going to make that decision that we have to start preparing for the second act? Because you got rid of all your assets. But
if you didn't do the Middleton trade, then you're in the second apron, and then you have absolutely nothing you could do this offseason. No flexibility.
No, I completely get it. I'm just saying I have apprehension about John Horst simply because of his ability to draft, and some of the trades he has made have not worked out. And it is what it is. But I'm just saying, for a team that needs to show Giannis we have a future, the future is bleak because Horst hasn't done a good job of drafting young talent.
But again, this was a fair, give Strouf some credit here. The last time the Bucks have drafted in the top 20, do you know what pick it was and who the pick was?
Oh boy,
Dante DiVincenzo.
Yes. 2018 Dante DiVincenzo, which was a great pick, number 17.
17. Okay.
That is a great pick at 17.
But he's gone now.
Right.
But
and
I'm okay with it.
Yeah. I'm saying Dante.
He knows Serge Ibaka.
I mean, ultimately, it was probably that Dante wouldn't re-sign, so they were going to try to get something for him. And Pat Connaughton was. So you could argue that, the Connaughton versus Dante decision, but there was a championship that wouldn't have happened without Pat Connaughton, so it's tough to argue that, right?
No, that's
the ultimate point here is the Damian Lillard trade just hasn't worked out, unfortunately, unfortunate circumstances, to the direction you thought it would. And when you were,
and by the way, if you look at the Bucks' postseason offense pre that trade in the previous postseasons,
I couldn't watch it.
You would say, this trade makes sense. If the Bucks are going to win in the postseason, we're going to need a more efficient offense, and the Dame and Giannis combination.
I never knocked
it. Right?
I never knocked that trade for Dame because I saw people say, Drew. Yeah, Drew's like the fourth scoring option on the team.
Yeah.
All right, if he was a fourth scoring option, sure, that'd be great. But you need it.
I love Drew more than anyone, and I'm with you, Kyle. When the trade happened, we were like, you know what? They needed to be better offensively in the postseason if they were going to win another championship. And it just hasn't worked out, right, to this point. And it doesn't look like it's going to work out for the majority of next season. So it sets up a really, really fascinating offseason. All right, we got a lot to talk about today. I want to talk about the Cubs, because there's something that I really don't like, which maybe we'll do real quick when we get back. We'll talk about the Cubs thing real quick, because we have Jason Wilde coming up in about 10 minutes. And instead of a 7 at 11 guest today, I'm throwing some little trivia your way.
So we're doing a normal OG set?
No, you're not going to call Aaron Rodgers?
Nope, it's not going to be 7 at 11. It's not going to be 11. We're just going to have fun with some 2 little questions that we'll have fun with one question. If it goes well, we'll do the second question.
Is Rodgers married?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah. Craig, you got to text him.
I'm telling you, could see a lot of blue and not a lot of gray in my text conversation with Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, you keep going and keep texting?
Yeah, I'm like that. Like, hey,
just out of
buddy.
curiosity, when's the last time you texted him?
I texted him after I watched the Enigma movie.
Okay,
the
that's probably
documentary?
about 4 months ago.
Yeah.
He left you on red, or did he give you like a? Did he read it? Or
he didn't
not
respond.
Even open it?
He didn't like that documentary.
He did it.
He liked it.
What do you mean?
He had to.
I thought
he
he
made
had
it.
complaints with that.
No, it was guided towards him. All those Netflix documentaries are always one-sided.
I don't. Well, yeah, this Favre one's definitely going the other side.
You said the Farley one?
The Favre.
Oh, yeah, that's different. That's a hit piece.
December 20th, I texted him, no response.
Did he read it, though?
Yeah, I mean, delivered. I don't know that it's read,
so your
but
number's
it's
not
delivered.
blocked. That's good.
Yeah.
Oh.
Previous text to him was a really long one.
Oh.
On April 27th, 2022.
Oh, wow. It's been a while.
I did say reply optional on it to him.
Oh, wow. Wow. 2022. What was happening around that time? I wonder if somebody was getting ready to be traded from.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh, that was a year before.
It was
22 was his last season.
Yeah, it was
April 22.
Yeah,
it was right around. It was right around the draft.
He was disgruntled, but he did not leave yet.
I mean, he was gruntled for a while.
Gruntled,
yeah, and then he got disgruntled. I don't know what was going on there.
All right, I distracted you again.
Yeah, we were trying to go. We were trying to go because then we're gonna do quick Cubs. Then we're gonna do Wilde. Yeah. All right, Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
This is Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Another
Save big money in your next staining project right now at Menards. Pittsburgh's Ultra Advanced Semi-Transparent Exterior Stain and Sealant in One can be applied to damp wood, allowing you to clean the surface and stain in one day. Save big on Ultra Advanced Exterior Stain and Sealant. And don't forget to check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Another disappointing end to the season for the Bucks.
Three-quarter court heave, and that is how this season will end for the Bucks.
And now we head into another offseason full of rumors.
Do you think that you can still win that second championship here in Milwaukee?
I'm not going to do this. I wish I was still playing. I wish I was still competing and going back to Milwaukee.
What's going to happen with Giannis and the Bucks? All the latest Bucks news right here. 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the new ESPN Wisconsin app.
St. Anne's Center for Intergenerational Care recently switched to James Imaging Systems for their document imaging technology. Why? CFO Sally Parente.
Well, I think that boils back down to the service. We have a good partnership with James Imaging.
With James, you get more than a vendor relationship. You get a local business technology partner.
Oh, absolutely. I can pick up the phone at any time, contact our representative, and he's right on it.
James Imaging Systems, business technology and local support for more productivity, more value.
Definitely. We're a nonprofit here. We have to watch every penny, so we really feel very comfortable in that area with James Imaging.
Comfortable enough to recommend James Imaging Systems to others?
Well, without hesitation, I would recommend James Imaging. They won't be disappointed.
James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel, conveniently located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee's Theater District. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, artist in residence, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
Make plans to stop by Third Ward Beer Garden at Catalano Square. Experience Milwaukee's favorite beer garden, the perfect spot to meet up with friends in the Third Ward. Open Wednesday through Sunday with live music Thursday through Saturday. Good times and great vibes await at Third Ward Beer Garden.
To be labeled as bourbon, a whiskey must be distilled from a mash that is at least 51% made of this grain.
What is corn?
Correct.
I'll take liquor for 800.
A cocktail of rum, grapefruit juice, lime juice, simple syrup, and maraschino liqueur is a daiquiri named for this American author.
Who is Ernest Hemingway?
Correct again, Marie. You're on a roll.
Liquor for 1,000, Ken.
Taking a shot of whiskey and immediately chugging a beer is a quote-unquote recipe for this drink, named because it was once served to workers ending their shifts.
What is a Boilermaker?
Unbelievable. Where can you find the best variety of beer, wine, and liquor?
Well, Ken, I am from Discount Liquor, where we have an encyclopedia-like knowledge of all things alcohol. We've been a family-owned and operated business since 1960, and we've all grown up with alcohol as a second language. Our business has literally served multiple generations of Wisconsinites. In Milwaukee, on 51st in Oklahoma, and in downtown Waukesha, on Main and Barstow.
Discount Liquor.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
In season, off season, draft season. Whatever season it is, we are Milwaukee's place to talk green and gold. Listen, watch, or stream live whenever, wherever. 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, now, I want to scream so loud for you, 'cause I'm so proud of you.
You're listening to Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
The Carbless Talk and Text line is open, 800-990-3776. Carbless Talk and Text line. Less is more. Carbless handcrafted premium cocktails. Less is more. Colin says Kyle's a scrub.
Wow. Oh, wow. Colin. Thanks, Colin.
Chef Ed says, a question for you guys. Should a husband feel obligated to get his wife a Mother's Day gift?
Yeah. What?
If you have kids, yes.
You have children.
Should the dad get it or the kids? Like, I'm saying, like, if the kids are adult kids, is it still on
your own? Yeah,
then it's not on the dad at that point.
Yeah, we take care of our mom, my dad. He did it for many, many years, so we take care of her today.
Rich says it was Dante versus Grayson Allen, not Dante versus Pat in that 21-22 season when the Bucks had to make some contract decisions.
It was Grayson.
Chef Ed comes back and says Aaron is not married. He wore the ring and got what he wanted. You to talk about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chef Ed's got it. It's you and Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, that's your friend.
He cares about me.
Chicago Cubs. Do you guys know what's about to happen this month?
An easier schedule?
Not an easier schedule.
The deficit just going to get worse.
So I got to read this to you, and this is sad. And the odds back it up if you look at it. So this is the Cubs after today's game against the Mets. And by the way, they beat the Mets last night. Cubs have 3 games against the Marlins at home. The Marlins are 15-23. The Cubs have 3 games against the White Sox at home. The White Sox are 11-29. If that wasn't easy enough, the Cubs then get to go play the Marlins in Miami for 3 games, where I'm sure there'll be more Cubs fans than Marlins fans. Then they go play the Reds for 3 games. Then the Cubs host the Rockies for 3 games. Any idea what the Rockies' record is?
Trash.
6-33. 6-33. And then the Cubs get to host the Reds again. They may not lose the rest of May.
Here we go.
Do you know the Brewers to win the division are now 7-1?
Yeah, I should have waited to place my bet, huh?
7-1 just to win the division now. I mean, when you look at that schedule, another 1-run awful loss against the Rays yesterday, back-to-back ones.
It's just a day.
And the Brewers they gave them 5 outs in the top of the inning. Were you watching that?
Yeah.
I mean, the routine ground ball to third base is thrown into the dugout. Yelly, who I'm not saying Yelly does the best job at running to first base. I couldn't tell if he was going to run hard the whole way. But he ends up, an error by the first baseman. So the Rays, who are this great fielding team but have questionable corner infield defense, give the Brewers first and third, bases loaded, 1 out. Can't get the run in. I think Frelick pops up to second, and then Durbin flies out to left center, and then they lose. It just felt like that was coming. You had the ejection Friday night, but this was the last time in May that the Brewers had an easier matchup than the Cubs, and the Cubs have actually gained a game on the Brewers. And I said this was the year we had to scoreboard watch earlier than any year.
Yeah.
Because the wild card, the wild card's not in play this year, I don't think.
No, I don't think so either.
So, these every game is important, so make sure you're on the Brewers. All right. Every time is important when we get to talk to Jason Wilde. Kyle, he's with us today.
He sure should be. He's always here.
Well, it's Mother's Day.
You didn't ask?
Jason, and Jason have this thing. He's always here.
But I'm saying, Jason and his family's probably done an incredible job for Paula for Mother's Day. That is one thing I can guarantee.
100%. He has daughters. Don't have sons. Sons are they're
like you
great,
have an option? Did you just give advice? You can choose?
Actually, you can choose now.
All right. Well, during those watching on YouTube, Kyle continue the show, and as Kyle's a geneticist now, all of a sudden, Kyle, come on.
Well, I'm telling you, if I have 2 children and they're both girls, I'm gonna pay to make sure that they take the Y chromosome and it goes into the egg, and I have my boy. I'm gonna have a designer.
Wait, hold on. So
probably after the
Craig,
third.
You chose
Jason Wilde is next. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
More Sunday Karma coming up on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Kessler's has diamond pendants for Mother's Day.
Diamond pendants for only $148.
Mother's Day celebrates motherhood.
And it's always appropriate to give a Mother's Day gift to a mom.
Diamond pendants for only $148.
Your mother is a mother.
Your wife may be a mother.
Your girlfriend may be a mother.
Your sister may be a mother.
Your grandmother's certainly a mother.
You might even have a coworker who is a mother.
Motherhood needs to be celebrated.
Always.
You heard the part about the $148, right?
Giving a diamond pendant to a mom who wasn't expecting it is one of the greatest joys you'll ever experience.
The surprise on their face when you say Happy Mother's Day is worth 10 times the price you paid.
They'll remember that gift forever.
And you will, too.
Welcome to Kessler's, where you can buy a diamond Mother's Day pendant for just $148.
Welcome to Kessler's.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Calling all collectors, the Wisconsin Card Show is back May 16th through the 18th at the Baird Center in downtown Milwaukee. Whether you're into sports cards, Pokemon cards, or chasing down autographs from Wisconsin's sports stars, this is the place to be. Meet Churio, Contreras, Terrain, and more legends from Wisconsin's hometown team. Don't miss this 3-day event packed with vendors, memorabilia, and must-see moments. Tickets and full details at WisconsinCardShow.com. That's WisconsinCardShow.com.
On Thursday, May 22nd, join Sharp Literacy for the 9th annual Unwrapped Milwaukee fundraising event from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at 3rd Street Market Hall. Unwrapped is an evening of community, creativity, and food. Top area chefs will create gourmet appetizer, entree, and dessert bites using McDonald's ingredients. The fundraiser will support Sharp's STEAM-based educational program serving thousands of urban elementary students in 47 Milwaukee, Waukesha, and Racine schools. For tickets, visit sharpliteracy.org.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Forget average. At Exterior Pros, they bring the heat. They're not here to meet standards. They're here to smash them. From the first swing of the hammer to the final reveal, they're leveling up your home with every window, every shingle, and every single detail. This isn't just a remodel. It's a glow up for your house. Built tough, built beautiful, built to turn heads. Want in? Let's go. Lock in your project now and save $3,000. Exterior Pros, where bold meets built. Trust the pros and visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
The Homer Hour with special guests every day from 5 to 6.
Right now, they'd be a toss-up with the Herd.
People just don't know how funny mean you are.
Come on.
Well, I mean, that's mean, but it's funny, and the funny trumps the mean, and so you laugh.
But there might be some truth to that.
Of course there's some truth to it.
The Homer Hour with Homer. Weekdays from 5 to 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN and streaming live on YouTube. Start the day with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
When you're paid like an A player, you have to play like an A player, not a B player, and he has never played like an A player.
On 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
She might be the bomb, but ain't nobody got 'em all like mine. Her love's till the end, she's my best friend. Ain't nobody got 'em all.
You're listening to Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
No denying, I'm her girl, no matter what. Even when
A day that's filled with all of the feels, all of the emotions for Jason Wilde. Happy Mother's Day and good morning, Jason.
Thank you. Happy Mother's Day to you as well. No better place to spend it than at different sports. That's how we celebrate Mother's Day every year. So good to be with you, Craig.
So no brunch? No brunch? No anything scheduled for Paula?
Sid just finished with her soccer game, so we're just trying to figure out what our brunching options are.
So it's going to be like Noodles and Company for like 5 minutes in between games?
Exactly.
They've got those cool soda machines, though, at Noodles and Company. You
Yeah.
do all the flavors?
Yeah, the freestyle. Yeah, the freestyle.
They had one of those at the Cousin Subs I was at yesterday.
All right, real quick question for Kyle and Stroufy. Do you think Jason and the girls had a Mother's Day present like where Paul like woke up and got like breakfast in bed and like there was like a celebration as the day started?
Maybe not breakfast in bed, but I bet she had a present in her hand within the first 10 minutes of being awake.
Yeah, I don't think it was breakfast in bed because if they had to get to a sporting event early in the morning,
but you're
they probably
saying
had to move around.
Mother's Day present delivered within 30 minutes of awakening.
Oh, I would go even shorter.
before
than that,
before they left out the door.
Definitely.
For sure.
All right, Jason, what do you got?
Yeah, both wrong. Saving the present until after all the soccer games. So no breakfast in bed. That is the tradition. Maddie was very unhappy that we were not able to do that tradition, but we had to be on the road very early for game one today. So
I feel like Paula's like, no gifts in the morning. Let's be locked in for the games. Everyone needs to be locked in. Once the games are over, then we can think about Mother's Day.
Well, see, you know Paula. You've known her for a long time. That's exactly how she is.
Yes, let's get locked in. All right, so Jason, as we are locked in, I guess I can. I mean, the people are asking on the text line is. By the way, Dustin says if you breed in the morning, you are more likely to have girls. Kyle is like this geneticist who's now saying that you can decide if you want a girl or a boy. Jason, that he'll insert a Y chromosome to make sure that one of his two kids is a boy.
With the help of my doctors,
Oh, okay. You're not just doing that.
Nobody's going to ask Jason if he bred in the morning, right?
No, we're not asking that.
Okay, just making sure.
But I think Jason's happy he didn't get an extra Y chromosome in there, and he's happy with 2 girls. So from that, we won't even ask you to answer anything, Jason. We will just say, were you at the Rogers wedding or the engagement party?
I was not at either one. Quick story, though. I did expect and obviously had much more experience having coached boys and having been around boys, that I'll never forget going to the ultrasound with Paula for Maddie. And we tell this story every once in a while. I'm holding her hand as we're about to find out, are we having a boy or a girl? I honestly don't remember doing this, but I was holding her hand, and then the technician said, well, congratulations, it's going to be a girl. And apparently I let go of Paula's hand, crossed my arms, and let out a very deep sigh. Because immediately I was thinking about prom and boys and all the challenges that come with having girls. But I could not have been like, I think I'm wired to be a girl dad, so I'm really lucky to have these 2.
You know what they say? If you have a boy, you have to worry about one of them.
Yes.
If you have a girl, you have to worry about all of them. And I'll let Kyle, you figure out what them is. Did you figure it out, Kyle?
Yeah, them nasty boys.
No, but did you figure out what them is?
A little bit more specific.
Them boys?
No, if you have a girl, you have to worry about one of them. If you have a girl, you have to worry about all of them.
Yes.
It's we're not going to, I don't need to say the word anatomy. I think you'll figure out. I'll say it one more time. If you have a girl, you have to worry about one. If you have a boy, you have to worry about one of them. If you have a girl, you have to worry about all of them.
I don't know where to go with this. Because
Okay,
I don't know
yeah.
if it's appropriate.
Yeah.
I
don't answer.
Right. That's why we're just going to move on. And so, Jason, you were not invited to the wedding or the engagement party?
No, you know who the last person was to use that? I only have to worry about one, and Jason, you have to worry about all of them. Matt LaFleur, while we were standing talking on the sideline at the rookie camp. Like, literally, the fact that we stumbled upon that phrase of having to look out for one, you-know-what.
Yeah, Matt LaFleur is a delightful guy, by the way. I hung out with him more the day of the draft than I had ever before. What a nice guy, a smart guy. I didn't know his dad lives in the Green Bay village or whatever.
Yeah,
Dang,
the
does he want people to know
flat
that?
at Titletown.
Yeah.
Yep, and he has 2 boys. So that's why he and I were talking about the girls.
Dude, think about if you're Matt LaFleur's dad and you live in the Titletown village. You're kind of like the mayor, right? Wouldn't that be the coolest place to live? Your son becomes the coach of the Packers, and then you're living do you think he's paid for a thing ever? Do you think I'm saying forget meals. I feel like he can go to the Bass Pro Shops and just grab a fishing grab some fishing supplies. You can't charge Matt LaFleur's dad for anything if you're in Titletown.
Well, I can tell you this: when they played the Rams, we asked Matt, who said you or your brother, because obviously Mike is now the offensive coordinator with the Rams, a job that Matt had previously had. We had asked him who his mom's favorite was, Mike or Matt, and Matt said probably my brother, even though I bought them their condo, and they live by us. So he did have to pay for it. He did not get it. That is not one of the perks of being the Packers coach, that you get a free Titletown flat residence.
Yeah.
I think he can afford it. He'll be all right.
Yeah. Well, I actually think the interesting thing is actually kind of the opposite. So if you're Matt LaFleur, do you think in Wisconsin or someone at that level, do you think you're more likely to get things hooked up with you for free? Or is it more like, oh, I know how much money he has, I'm going to charge him more? Do you think
Depends if you're winning.
That's actually illegal.
Do you think there's a tax, though, on being well-known? Or do you think it's you get hooked up for being well-known in Wisconsin?
The latter.
I think it's amazing how folks that don't need to be hooked up are most frequently hooked up.
That's a good point.
Right? It is, and I'm not criticizing that because people.
Because Jason wants to get hooked up. That's why.
I know Jason does get hooked up.
Yeah, no, he does. That's why he doesn't want to criticize it, because he wants to make sure he continues to get hooked up.
I need to get a little bit higher up in the pecking order first. But yes, I do think he gets taken well care. Like, let's be honest, we just saw it in action when he was at the Thunder Trio, and we had that great half-hour conversation. But he got a free family membership to the Pickler from one Mark Tauscher. So, and I'm pretty sure he could have paid his membership fee. So definitely he gets hooked up more often than not.
I mean, but if the Pickler's on the top of your list of hookups, then you haven't you haven't totally made it.
I don't think anyone said it was on the top of this list, but I think, Tausch might say it's on the top of this list.
Yes, that might be the case. All right. So I guess does this mean Jason hasn't been invited to the engagement party or the wedding?
I would take that as a no.
So I was not invited. And I'll be honest, Homer filled in for Tausch on the day or the day after that news had broken.
And what is the news officially? Just that he was wearing something on his finger?
Don't know. He was wearing what appeared to be a wedding ring.
Yes, at the Kentucky Derby party, he was photographed or video of him with a dark, looked like almost a black wedding band.
Now, could that be an aura ring or something? Like, or are we just
so we talked about
tracking
that.
our
No,
sleep?
We did. We talked about that too. Apparently, Danny Zetterman, our teammate in Chicago, is a longtime aura ring user, and he said you're supposed to wear it on your middle or pointer finger, either hand. So we don't think that was our first question. Was, well, maybe he's just, because you know how he loves to create stirs. Maybe it's just an aura ring and he's just having some fun with it. But Danny, being the expert that he is, informed us that that's not the case. So, look, I don't know if he's married or not, but Homer, he filled in for Tausch that morning, and that was all he wanted to know. Like, he right out of the chute when the show started. And so I have held off on texting the newlywed quarterback, if that's what he is, because then I get into the gray areas. That's information I'm allowed to share. Is that private? Like, he hasn't announced it, and we know that he announced his engagement to Shailene Woodley when he was accepting his MVP award, right? So if he hasn't announced it, I don't want to know and then have to pretend that I don't know. So I have just sort of let him. I've held off until
I have a thought.
He announces he's a
Wait,
Steeler
let's go.
and
Okay, so Jason, let's just go backwards in time. All right, Stroufy, go yours, and then we'll.
Well, so I have been known to bully Jason into texting people when he doesn't necessarily know whether or not he should. Here's my thought, Jason.
Wait, quick. This is really important.
Yeah, go ahead.
Kyle, are we gonna be able to take this to up to 11, or are we gonna need to?
We're taking it to 11.
Okay. We can?
Did you not tell him that?
I did. I said no break. Go.
Okay, go. All right, Stroufy, you go.
So I think your angle here, Jason, is start with just a simple congratulations, I think, ? And see what he says to that. And then I think you can angle that into having him on the show soon.
That's awful.
Why? That it's very friendly, right? Like
No.
if there was a rumor floating around, Craig, that you got married.
Stroufy, who's the coolest person, like most famous person you have a relationship with on text?
I don't know.
That's exactly
Kyle
why.
Wallace?
That's exactly why. With congratulations ?
But that sounds friendly.
No, that's not.
It's hot, stir.
You're not
you've stirred up the news cycle. We don't really know if it's true. Congratulations, I think.
No.
And then that opens the door for him to say whatever he wants.
No. Jason, explain to Stroufy that would be like your last reply text. That you'd get the Schefter lose my number on that.
I've forgotten about that line. That was really something. Yeah, that's not good. And again, I love the fact that you set this up. Well, I love the fact that you set this up by acknowledging that you bullied me into texting Goody.
Yeah, it didn't work.
And it was a complete abject failure.
But here's
so
why.
What makes you then qualified to suggest a new idea?
I think I'm trying to overcorrect here, Jason, because when we drafted up that text to Goody, it was like multiple paragraphs long. I think if we just go the couple words route, you're more likely to receive a response.
Don't listen to Stroufy. All right, here's my question for you.
The last time you texted Rogers, he didn't respond to you either.
Right.
Maybe you need fresh ideas, Craig.
But I'm not looking for a response. I just want him to know and
that you're thinking about him?
Yeah, I want he had done the documentary and I wanted him to
For somebody that's
know the thoughts.
criticizing
I
my
wasn't
lack
looking
of relationships.
Yeah.
It seems like you don't have much of one.
I don't. But I oftentimes when creators create something, because I've done a movie and it meant a lot to me. I like them to know just, to get that feedback for them as a creator. It's not about me and the response they have to me.
You sent him your director notes on Enigma?
I sent him just my thoughts on his vulnerability and his willingness to do what he did because of how unique I thought it was.
And
that's a great message.
But
we have not seen
feedback.
We have not seen why?
Because he didn't respond to you.
No, I don't need it. I'm not looking for something back in return. That's the point. Like I give feedback to people for the feedback, not for myself.
It sounds like a one-sided relationship.
But at the minimum,
it's not a relationship. I was just giving him feedback.
Wouldn't you like? No, I've received the message.
I don't care. No, it's not about me. When I give someone feedback, it's not about me. It's about them.
Oh, wow.
Are you sure?
Yes.
That's strong.
But it's feedback that was not asked for.
Yeah, it wasn't unsolicited.
Like if you gave me feedback, I think we're co-hosts. We share the show together. So if you said, "Hey, Strouf, that segment was really bad," that's feedback I'm looking for. But something that he put out,
right? But I'm giving you
proud of,
right?
He's not looking for feedback.
I think he would have appreciated the feedback he got. All right, Jason. Let's
think he would have told you. He could have thumbs up.
No, he doesn't.
He could have said thanks.
He left you on red.
I don't need the feedback.
If I may.
Yeah.
If I may, he is not the greatest respondent to messages, whether they're positive, negative, indifferent. And you can ask Brian Bulaga, you can ask Tausch, all the guys that played with him. So I would say, in defense of you, Craig, the message you sent did not ask for a response. So frequently he doesn't respond to messages that do require a response. So there's no way he's going to respond to that. I'm sure he appreciated it because he is wired that way, and I'm sure getting positive feedback. I'm thinking
Jason, I think he gets so many people who either want something from him or are looking for angles to critique him that there are times where I will send him an affirming message that I think he will appreciate when I think it's valid. So, Jason,
how are we still talking Rodgers years
exactly?
After? He took over. We got all.
So
this
that's
stuff.
why what I want to know to Jason, because he was saying that he didn't want to know something that he couldn't share. So what I'd love to have Jason right now. Jason's top 3 things that he has known that he could not share. Because now the time has passed and all that. Kyle, are you ready for this? Like, this is groundbreaking stuff.
I am ready for it.
Stroufy, are you nervous?
It's not
I'm worried he's not going to do it.
Stuff.
You don't think he'll do it?
No, because here's why. So rarely do I have, because I'm such a bad secret keeper. Like, we joke on our show that I knew about Tausch getting into the Packers Hall of Fame, and it's unique because it's one of the rare pieces of information that I've ever had that I actually successfully kept secret. Now, I've kept people's names secret when they've been sources. But, for example, my favorite one of those stories is Mike McCarthy in his first year as a coach. Al Harris, and I know, Strouf, you've heard this story before.
All right, wait, then it's not that good. If Stroufy's heard it, it's not that good.
We want some
well,
good
he's told this story many times before.
Okay,
Al Harris was a source.
Right, but what about a situation like, let's say Aaron, and now it's all good because it's all out there, but let's say if Aaron had told you something that at the time you're like, wow, and then it ultimately came to be, so now it's old news, but you knew and you had to hold it in.
Yeah, usually most of our conversations that I couldn't share were him venting his frustration about various coaches or people.
Wait, can I give you one? Because I know one.
Yeah, let's hear it. I want some tea right now.
This is for Jason. Jason, are you sure I can do this?
Well, I don't know what you're about to do, so I don't know.
All right.
I think you should do it.
All right. So one of them that I thought was crazy was that, and I don't want Jason could clarify and either shut it down or whatever.
Yeah, you can say stop if you need him to stop, Jason.
That Aaron, during one of his last 2 MVP seasons, believed that if he was not the MVP of the league, he would not have his job the next year.
Oh.
Right? Jason.
Kyle Kyle found that to be underwhelming.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard this before.
You've heard that?
That's not shocking to
I think
me.
Jason
that he had to literally be the MVP of the league to keep his job?
That sounds more like
that's wild to me.
That sounds more to me like a competitor's mindset than something he was told directly.
No, I don't think
music.
anyone told him that, but I do think Craig is right. That is 100% true that he thought they drafted his replacement. If he didn't have an MVP season, that he would not be back.
But that sounds,
But that's literally wild for a first ballot Hall of Famer and for the guy who's probably, no offense to Brett Favre and Bart Starr, probably, like if you look at it, the best quarterback in franchise history, that he felt like if he was not the MVP, he would lose his job.
But I think that's what makes the love pick, aside from what you're going to get the next decade, so impressive, because it built a chip on one of the all-time great quarterback's shoulders.
But let's go back to Jason. Jason was holding on to this information during the season, knowing that the quarterback felt this way. I mean, that's wild to me. I don't know how you guys don't think that's a big deal.
They're just not easily impressed.
Well, no, I just feel like...
And maybe now when you look back, it's like, oh, not a big deal. But at the time, the guy's quarterbacking, and if he's not the MVP of the league, he thinks he's going to not have his job?
I guess I see why you're entertained by this, yeah. Maybe it's hard.
I guess I see why you're entertained by this.
I mean, it's a lot of pressure, but I mean, like you said, he wasn't actually told that. I mean, he really probably had to play at an extremely high level, because I'm assuming that's after he played pretty bad the year before. I shouldn't say bad. He wasn't Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, I think they had every year with Matt LaFleur, they won like 13 games every year or something.
And then 20, he was the best season of his career.
Yeah, but going in when they drafted Jordan Love that year.
No. We're not talking the year after they drafted. We're talking about his MVP years, which by that point they were already winning 13 games every year.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Jason, I guess they're not impressed. So I guess maybe you, in their opinion, you don't keep any good secrets.
I want some good tea, some current tea. Why is Jaden Reed mad on Twitter all the time?
He's not mad.
He's motivated. I love him, but what's going on in that man's head? I like him a little. I love him, but I'm curious to know.
I like him a little. I love him.
Is this something that has to do with Matthew Golden?
Wait, why is everyone saying Romeo Doubs is gone? Last quickie, Jason.
Because tell him, Jason. Because Aaron Rodgers loves Romeo Doubs, right?
Yeah, that's so.
Yeah, that's another one where. So standing there talking to Romeo in training camp 2023, when he says, and I quote, "I learned a lot from Aaron, even with him barely speaking to me." I immediately then texted Rodgers. I said, "Hey, look, I'm going to write this." He said it. But I don't remember this being the case last year, and I did not expose what Rodgers said. But he did. He was like, he's a weird guy. I had lunch with him a bunch. I don't understand why he would feel that way. So now to hear this being reported out of Pittsburgh, that and I think Albert Breer said this too, that Rodgers has this level of affinity for Romeo Doubs. Maybe that has happened in the intervening years. I mean, Romeo lives in L.A. Maybe they worked out together or something at the same facility, but that is not my understanding of that relationship.
But Jason, we can agree that Pickens is the least Aaron Rodgers receiver you could ever have in the NFL, right?
Yes, that trade was the least surprising trade I have seen in a very long time.
But I would also say he's the least Mike Tomlin guy, also, right?
Fair.
So Pickens, who disappeared, you could see on the Netflix Christmas game and then their playoff game, and not just disappeared, but was like a negative, not like a neutral, was dropping balls and was, awful in terms of body language, everything.
Terrible.
Like
That's him. No.
Yeah, I'm saying, that. So I don't think that's surprising from a Tomlin standpoint, but that also, like when people were saying Rodgers to the Steelers, I was like, I don't see him enjoying that. So that to me definitely.
Fan of DK?
I mean, DK, yes. DK's the kind of guy he could work with. I just don't. Pickens,
and he has.
Yeah.
They've worked out together this offseason.
Yeah, Pickens was the guy. So wait, Jason, you think he'll be there in Pittsburgh?
I don't. But again, I don't know what the Steelers' interest is in him. I have not seen this reported by, when Adam Schefter reports something, I believe it, right? I mean, he has about a 99% shooting percentage. Like when other people come up with stuff, it's kind of like the Packers trading for DK Metcalf. Like I was told they never were interested in making that move, and I certainly knew that they weren't interested in signing Devontae Adams because they never called Devontae because he told me that. So
and they didn't reply to your text that Strouf made you send.
He did. Goody did not. And by the way, to just circle back to that, I think Tausch had the greatest view of that. He said the text to Goody should have been, "Are you interested at all in Devontae Adams? If you don't respond, I'll take that as a yes. You're interested."
Yep. See, that's why Tausch has.
Okay, hold on. We got derailed.
That's why Tausch has way more famous people than Strouf does.
I just want to clarify, Kyle. I know you're yelling at us to break. Did you say you don't think he'll be in Pittsburgh?
Romeo Dobbs?
Oh, we thought you meant Rodgers.
No, I don't think Romeo Dobbs will be in Pittsburgh.
Oh, we thought you meant Rodgers.
I fully expect Rodgers to be there.
Oh, okay.
This is up, and happy Mother's Day, everybody. But I feel like I have been off my game. I will do better next Sunday on Sunday.
This is one of your better appearances. I think
this was all us.
No, this is the vibe we're looking for on this show. If you turn to this show and you're like, yeah, Jason just sounded like he did on every other show, then we didn't accomplish what we're looking for. We're trying to break the mold on Sundays. If you're like, wow, that was the most disjointed Jason Wilde appearance of the week, then it's like, oh, it was memorable.
You asked a man about mornings. This is crazy.
Well, you claim that you can choose which gender you're going to have.
Let's let Jason.
Is it ethical to do it, though, Kyle?
That's not for me to decide.
Well, you're saying it is for you to decide.
You have a great one.
Happy Mother's Day, Jason. Everybody. All right, when we come back, I will ask you guys a little trivia question. It's going to be a little fun, and if it goes well, we'll do a second one. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN, Wisconsin.
You're listening to Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. All day, every day. The Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman. The summer months are all about activity, but you can't experience that activity if you have pain in your joints. QC Kinetics has been the nation's leader in non-surgical relief for that joint pain. Don't just take my word for it. There's over 50,000 satisfied patients nationwide. It's truly remarkable how Milwaukee's medical direct, Dr. Ashley Caravelli and her team, are using regenerative cell therapy to restore that tissue in your achy joints. They're utilizing biological growth factors, things I've seen with my own two eyes at the Greenfield location. It's a powerful and potent way to give new life to your joints, repairing that old tissue that's causing all the pain. And the best part, with QC Kinetics, there's no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Give yourself the gift of pain-free living and lasting relief with QC Kinetics so you can do all the things you enjoy this summer. Get your free consultation today by calling QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474.
Whether you're about to graduate high school or have been in the workforce for years, it's time to take control of your future. Welcome to Lakeland University, where you call the shots. We use our flexible learning formats to customize your degree path. In-person, online, and virtual classes are all available. Lakeland University is designed around you, your goals, your schedule, your future. You can even earn up to 25% of your degree via paid work experiences. Ready to take control of your future? Let us customize an education to fit your needs. Visit lakeland.edu/ESPN to learn more.
Buying and selling a home can be a stressful process. Hey, it's Jen Latta from Jen, Gabe & Chewy. The We Sell group at Keller Williams has a goal of making it stress-free for everyone. Their passion is people, their availability is unmatched, something I'm experiencing firsthand while I search for a lake home to enjoy Wisconsin summers even more. Rob and Nick are there every step of the way, not just for their sellers, but also to potential buyers and their agents to bring in as many strong offers as possible. Get started today at wesell.kw.com. That's wesell.kw.com.
Are record energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? With limited incomes not keeping up with the lingering effects of inflation, you might be one of tens of thousands of Wisconsin residents who are struggling to survive in the blistering heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter. While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today and call 1-800-506-5596. That's 800-506-5596. Or visit www.kwwf.org.
Sponsored by the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's a home run! But wait, is your roof ready for the big league storms? If your roof has more holes than a catcher's mitt, it's time to bring in the pros. At Avondale Roofing, we've been handling leaks, repairs, and full replacements with major league precision for over 30 years. And as a GAF Master Elite certified contractor, we bring top-tier quality and proven performance to every job. Whether it's a quick patch-up or full upgrade, our team steps up to the plate and knocks it out of the park every time. You're out! Don't wait till water's in your dugout. Call Avondale Roofing today and keep your home in the win column.
Hi, I'm attorney David Gruber. After an accident, you need a trusted winning team on your side. For more than 30 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped Wisconsin families get the results they deserve. If you've been injured, call our firm today for a free consultation. We're available 24/7. Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
Looking for a totally rad flavor adventure, brochachos? Look no further than Surfer Boy Pizza as seen in Stranger Things. Each mouth-watering variety contains rich tomato sauce, delicious mozzarella cheese, and a gnarly range of toppings. The crust is crispy on the outside and airy on the inside. You'll think it was hand-tossed by the Surfer Boy Pizza dudes themselves. Look for it in the freezer aisle at your local store and buckle up your taste buds with Surfer Boy Pizza.
Marquette Hall of Famer Tony Smith here. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
And I still love her, but it fell through because I wasn't ready. And your back hurt, and your neck hurt, and you smoking heavy. And I sit next to you, and I lecture you because those are deadly.
More Sunday Karma coming up on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
All right, here's how it works. I've set up a little game for the two of you to play against each other. So you each go back and forth until you get a wrong answer. Whoever is wrong first loses, and then you guys can collab together. This is Kyle Wallace versus Alex Strouf. I have a list of 10 NBA players who are the leading scorer in a franchise's history who are still active. So there are 10 active NBA players who lead a franchise in scoring. It doesn't mean they lead the current franchise where they play in scoring. And by the way, of these people on this list, and this is wild to think, there's only 3 of the 10 that are on the current team.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So these are people who are the all-time leading scorer in the history of their franchise and are still active in the NBA.
Okay, I feel good.
Kyle, you've been on the show the longest. You can choose. Do you want to go first or second?
I'll go first.
Strategically. Okay, so you're going every other. Kyle, you start.
All right, we'll go with KD.
With what franchise?
With OKC, I believe.
KD with OKC is not on the list.
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I don't think that's right.
So right
I'll
now,
take it from here, Craig.
right now, Strophy, all you need to do is get one to win, and you will have won the question.
Well, I think why he's doing this, Kyle, is because the Bucks have 3 of them on the roster.
We have 3. Oh, I thought we had 2.
I will take Brooke Lopez with the Brooklyn Nets.
Brooke Lopez is the all-time leading scorer in the history of the Brooklyn Nets. That is correct.
I will take Giannis Antetokounmpo with the Milwaukee Bucks.
Giannis is the all-time leading scorer in the history of the Bucks.
I will take Damian Lillard with the Portland Trailblazers.
Damian Lillard is the all-time leading scorer in the history of the Blazers. All right, Strophy, keep going. You only have 7 left.
Okay, I will take, I guess sticking with the Thunder, let's go with Russell Westbrook.
Is Russell Westbrook the leading
does that count
scorer?
As the Sonics as well?
It does
He
count the
never played for the
Sonics
Sonics,
also.
though,
And the leading scorer is
I think it's Westbrook,
Russell
yeah.
Westbrook. That is correct.
My favorite player of all time. Fun fact.
You have 4 of the 10, and Russ has been great in this postseason. Obviously, he's up and down, but the Nuggets are not where they are up 2-1 against the top team in the NBA without
wrong
Russ.
guy to go with first.
Yeah, you did. Let's go with Steph Curry, Golden State Warriors.
Steph Curry is the leading scorer in the history of the Golden State
Okay, so you
Warriors.
said 3 of them are still with their current team. That's where I'm getting
Curry and Giannis are 2 of the 3.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out who the third is.
So you
but
have
I'll get back
5
to
of
that.
10 right now.
Okay. Is LeBron Cleveland? I would imagine he would have to be, right? Let's go LeBron James, Cleveland Cavaliers.
LeBron James, Cleveland Cavaliers is correct.
Yeah.
You have 6 of the 10.
This
Well
is a
done.
shame. I really messed this one up.
Okay, there are still active players that are their leading scorers with franchise. I would imagine Jokic isn't Denver's.
There's 1 with their current
No, it's
franchise,
Carmelo.
and
Okay, this is where it gets a little dicey. I'm just gonna think out loud. I will tell you when I have a final answer.
and Kyle, are you trying to think of some others? So, because you guys are gonna, once he gets it wrong, I'll give you guys the chance together to try to get the rest.
I'm just going franchise by franchise in my head. Halliburton wouldn't make sense for Indiana. Jokic doesn't make sense for Denver, but I feel like that might be the best option. But it could be somebody that's not in the postseason anymore. It can't be Jokic because Carmelo was so good there for so many years. Houston, nobody. San Antonio, nobody. Dallas, Luke. Nah, no, Luke is not Dallas's. I'm really hung up on the current one, the one who is still with this team. But I don't have a good guess for that. Okay, let's just go other players, shall we? Would Chris Paul be New Orleans?
That's what I was thinking.
I'm good with that.
They haven't been around long enough. Unless
I
you're
don't think
talking
I'm
about
missing
Charlotte.
anybody.
You're going to say Chris Paul, New Orleans?
Yeah, let's do that.
That is incorrect. All right, pretty impressive. So Strophy goes 6 out of 10, leaving 4 remaining. All right, you guys have 4 left. Kyle, you got a good one? Or you guys want to figure it out together?
Yeah, I think at this point, Strophy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of.
I'm just going to pull up a team list. I promise I'm not.
Yeah, you can have the team list. That's fine.
You know who's still active and is a leading scorer is I think it's Kyle Lowry with the Raptors.
Oh, but not with his team.
Right.
That would be insane.
Let's
if
go with
he's
that.
The leading
Kyle
scorer
Lowry,
of the
Raptors?
That'd be
Incorrect.
Really? That'd be insane. If he
But
was.
there is an active
DeMar
player who leads.
DeRozan.
Yes, DeMar DeRozan.
I thought it was Lowry.
DeMar DeRozan, active leading scorer for the not active, just all-time leading scorer, and he happens to be active. He left for Kawhi. I mean, he left earlier.
And I thought Lowry was okay. I thought it was Lowry. Interesting.
Yep. All right, you got 3 left.
Well, I need a list of the NBA teams.
So we have Brooke Lopez with the Brooklyn Nets, LeBron with the Cavs, Steph Curry with Golden State, Giannis with the Bucks, Russ with the Thunder, Dame Lillard with the Blazers, DeMar DeRozan with the Raptors. There are 3 players left.
Oh, you know, Anthony Davis might be the all-time leading scorer for the Pelicans.
No, I don't think so.
Yes, he is.
Oh, okay.
Yes, he is. AD with the Pelicans.
And then
I guess if it's not Chris Paul.
And by the way, that number that he has, 11,000 points, 11,059 points, is the second lowest of any franchise. Brooke Lopez, Brooklyn Nets, is the lowest for any franchise leader in scoring.
And then the all-time leading scorer for.
So you got 2 teams left. One of them is on their current team.
It could be is it Embiid in Philly? They have such a history.
That would be Embiid. Yeah,
that would make the most
How long was
sense.
Dr. J in Philly?
Well, Dr. J was on the Nets before he was on the Sixers.
All right, well, I think that's our hint.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be.
Let's go
Joel.
Embiid and the Sixers.
It's actually Hal Greer with the Sixers, so you weren't going to get that one.
Who the hell's
It got to
Hal
be
Greer?
Jokic then. No, Jokic.
No.
Yeah, you know what? I'm looking at the teams.
I think that's still Carmelo, but I could be wrong.
You're both wrong. It's actually the star of Amazing Grace and Chuck, Alex English.
Oh, Alex English. Yes.
Denver Nuggets all-time leading scorer.
No kidding.
When you throw out Dallas before, I mean, you ever heard Dirk Nowitzki?
That's why I said no.
Okay.
Yeah.
But come on, there was no chance. Yeah.
Los Angeles Clippers. It wouldn't be anybody.
No, not on the current roster.
Yeah, and not the Miami Heat because they don't have anybody.
Come on now. Who's the Miami Heat? Yeah, D Wade. Exactly.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I might be stumped.
Not
Boston.
They're both Western Conference.
Okay, that helps.
And no way it's Memphis because Memphis got some other guys that are really good.
This can't be right, but I don't hate this. Is it Devin Booker?
It is Devin Booker.
No way. Devin Booker for Phoenix.
16,452 points. So that's
why they don't have a championship.
That is the last one on the team.
The other franchise, this player is not there anymore, but still in the league.
And Kyle just mentioned it.
Memphis?
Yes.
Rudy Gay's not in the league anymore.
No, it's Mike Conley.
It is Mike Conley. Okay. Mike Conley's still alive in the playoffs.
That was fun. I like that.
Dude, those are your 10 players who are all-time franchise leading scorers.
Well, so
that was fun, right?
Yeah.
And by the way, people all throughout Wisconsin and people streaming out there were like playing in their mind, and they weren't cheating,
Chef
and it was great.
Right away.
Yeah. Oh,
10 out of 10, baby.
Yep. Exactly. Kyle, you got to always bring it to a negative spot.
That's a good pop.
What you mean?
Chef Ed did text in Harden, which I think it's surprising, but I guess his length on Oklahoma City obviously is a bench player or a six-man there. Houston, he wasn't there that long, but he was great when he was there.
He put up crazy points there, but Hakeem Olajuwon scored over 26,000 points with the Rockets.
He is probably number 2 with Oklahoma City.
He's got to be. Yeah, he's got to be.
I mean, Russell's there for so long. I didn't know Russell's your favorite player.
Yeah, all time. Yeah,
Stroufy, do you have something you want to tell us about?
I do. My friends at Door County Distillery, locally produced, handcrafted, award-winning spirits made locally in beautiful Door County. It's summer, baby. I know you're heading up to Door County. You got to pop in southern Door County. Carlsville is where Door County Distillery is located. You can do a special tour, and Friday the 13th coming up, June 13th, we will be there. And their basement, haunted, Craig.
Wait, they have a basement?
They have a basement. It used to be a school.
Are you sure this isn't like the Alamo where there really is no basement?
What do you mean, who is we? You know, I don't do ghosts.
Oh, I'm not talking about us. Mr. Relevant will be live on Friday the 13th.
Cool.
Yeah, I know. He threw out a we, like a collective we.
Yeah,
like, does that mean like you and your girlfriend are going for dinner? Or like, does it mean a show?
Craig, I'm bringing you. But anyway, summertime, it's Mother's Day. If you're celebrating, do it right. Door County Distiller. If you're mixing up old fashions, do it with their 27-time gold medal award-winning single malt whiskey or cherry brandy infused with Door County cherries. Check them out. DoorCountyDistillery.com is the website for a huge list of unique cocktail recipes as well as the retailer nearest you. That's DoorCountyDistillery.com.
More Sunday Karma as we continue on ESPN Wisconsin.
You're listening to Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance. World-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe. June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Have you seen them yet?
Seen what?
4 different ways to say I love you.
I'd love to see those. Show me the list. What list? The list of 4 different ways to say I love you.
Let's start over.
Where are you going, Monica?
I'm going to get the 4 different ways to say I love you.
Sarah, imagine a box of assorted chocolates.
Okay.
When you open the lid, what do you see?
I see a guy sitting on a park bench saying, life is like a box of chocolates.
But what are the shapes of the chocolates?
There are 4 different shapes.
Here they are.
Those are gorgeous.
4 diamond pendants covered in diamonds.
Almost like they were dipped in diamonds.
And each diamond was created inside a miniature star.
But you'd have to be rich to afford one of these.
Choose the diamond pendant you like best. $148.
I love Kessler's.
Everyone loves Kessler's.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Tailgate season, company victory party, don't let your event fall short. V Private Bar Services delivers the winning play with expertise. We're talking custom cocktails, top shelf service, and an atmosphere that'll have your team pumped. Forget the watered-down beer and basic mixers. Get the VIP treatment for your corporate events with bartenders who know the perfect pour. V Private Bar Services, where elevated hospitality runs through our veins. Explore vprivatebar.com and leave the mixing to us.
Hi, I'm Jim Token, president of Adam, the automobile dealers of Metro Milwaukee. I want to thank all the participating new car member dealers, and especially all of you who helped us recently present a check to Feeding America of Eastern Wisconsin for over $72,000 just by having your oil changed at an Adam member dealer. The donation provided over 220,000 healthy meals to those in need. Thank you again for changing your oil and changing lives.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
At Potawatomi, where ways to win are endless, another chance to capture epic cash and prizes comes Friday, June 27th. It's the season finale blockbuster drawings. Watch your entries from Enchanted Spins, Unreal Treasures, and Boundless Bounty come together for drawings where $300,000 in cash and prizes is there for the taking. Be there to win your share. June 27th only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info online. Must be 21 years old to play.
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video. Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
You all appreciate it.
You're listening to Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Though back at the time, I never thought I'd see a face. Ain't a woman alive that could take my mama's place. Suspended from school, I'm scared to go home. I was a fool with the big boys breaking all the rules.
Oh, I got to tell you about Palermo's Pizza, because there's anything that can be disruptive, it's Cheez-It Pizza coming to the office. Did you guys get to have it?
Yes.
Oh, they brought down to the show, right?
Sure did.
It was so good, Craig. I sent to people who I know like Cheez-Its.
Yeah. Wait, you sent...
I sent the picture, the video of us trying it to people who like Cheez-Its.
Yeah.
I'm like, you got to try this.
Oh, it was...
And they freaked out.
It was way better than I anticipated. So
yeah.
good.
Yeah, so they're always doing stuff. Like we've talked about it. It's cool. They're locally owned, family owned right here in Wisconsin. It's rare to have something like that. And they have all these different brands. And they're big enough that they collab with Netflix and Stranger Things. And now, like, collabing with Cheez-Its, like real like Cheez-Its, like Palermo's. It's unbelievable to have that kind of business here. And right now, did you know, for just $4.99 at Festival Foods, you can get a Screamin' Sicilian original buttery stone fired crust thin and crispy or tavern style pizza for just $4.99. Stock up at Festival Foods. Taste what all the screaming is about with Screamin' Sicilian Pizza. That is through May 13th, so that is through Tuesday. Head to Festival Foods, and for $4.99, get your Screamin' Sicilian Pizza, part of the wonderful Palermo's family. All right, we had so much fun with that. We're going to run it back.
Yeah.
All right, we're running it back, Kyle.
Do better this time, Kyle.
You did not show up.
Yeah, I did KD first. My list I had, the other five guys had my list.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
It sounds like Chef Ed.
All right. Kyle, you want to go first or second?
Oh, wow, that window.
You want to go first or second? Or no, Stroufy, you pick.
Earned the right to go
Stroufy, you pick. No, well, he might want to go second.
No, I want to go second.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to keep it the same.
All right, so we're running back the same exact question.
I need water. I haven't had my water today. It's like when people with their coffee, and so my brain's a little foggy.
We're running back the same exact question.
Same question.
Franchise.
Same question. Come on, now I'm getting foggy.
Franchise all-time leading record, and they have to be still active in the NBA in assists instead of points.
How many are there?
Chris Paul.
So who holds? You're up second.
Oh.
No, he's up first.
Oh, you are up first. Okay. My bad.
So it is franchise
there
leaders
are
in assists.
7 franchises that have active players who are their leading assisters of all time. Sorry, there's 8. There's 8 players.
Okay. LeBron.
For what team?
For Cavs.
That is correct.
Let's go.
Isn't it my turn?
No.
Yeah.
No.
You go every other until
You just got it wrong right off the top.
Yeah. You ruined it last time by getting it wrong.
Sorry.
By the way, what team? Oh no. That
He
team
said
doesn't
LeBron
matter.
for Cleveland.
Yeah, LeBron for Cleveland. By the way, who do you think the second is there?
In Cleveland?
Yeah.
Ooh. It's got to be old.
Yep, it is.
Del Curry?
Mark Price.
Oh, that's right. That's what I was
Mark
gonna
Price.
say.
That was before our time for real, Strouf.
Del Curry. He
Yeah,
wasn't
I
even
didn't
on
even- yeah,
Cleveland.
He was a Charlotte guy.
Okay, over to Stroupy.
It's Giannis for the Bucks, right?
It is Giannis for the Bucks. So Giannis is not only the all-time but current, which we didn't have very many of in either of this list.
How about I said it before? How about Chris Paul for the New Orleans Hornets? Pelicans? I don't even. I guess it'd be New Orleans Hornets.
It would be.
Well, so New Orleans, the Hornets became the Pelicans, so that is part of the franchise. Chris Paul is correct. By the way, who do you think's number 2 there?
Not Zion, I'll tell you that much.
In New Orleans?
Only thing he assists with assisted food in his mouth.
I have no idea.
Come on, one of the most beloved players in Milwaukee.
In Milwaukee?
Yes.
Oh, Drew Holiday.
Yes, Drew Holiday, number 2 all-time assists in Pelicans history. All right.
Come on, Strouf, hurry up. You ain't got all day.
Steph Curry.
Steph Curry is correct.
That's good.
He and Giannis are the only 2 that are the active and only team for both points and assists.
We've got half the list.
It doesn't. So there are other people who are still current, but Giannis and Steph are the only 2 who lead both. So that only basically tells you that it's not Devin Booker for Phoenix.
How about this? Kyle Lowry for Toronto.
Ooh, that's good.
Kyle Lowry for Toronto is correct.
Good Paul.
Well done. You guys have gotten 5 of the 8.
Let's make it 6. My guy, Russell Westbrook, Oklahoma City.
Russell Westbrook for Oklahoma City is incorrect.
Really?
He is 500 short of one of the least favorite players in Bucks history, but it wasn't his fault. Gary Payton. Gary Payton with more assists in his Sonics career and the Sonics and Thunder.
So who have we said?
So you won, Kyle. Good job. You nodded it even.
Well,
All right, now you can work together. We got LeBron, Chris Paul, Steph Curry, Giannis, and Kyle Lowry.
What about so I had a couple here. What about Dame? Is Dame on the list for Portland Trailblazers?
He actually isn't. Terry Porter.
Oh, TP.
Stevens Point.
Yep, Terry Porter
legend.
edged Dame for the assist leader in Blazers history.
You know, and how about James Harden in Houston?
James Harden is correct. Well done. The fact that Harden is not in points but is in assists is not, I think, the way most people would think.
You think it's also Mike Conley in Memphis?
It probably is. No. Oh, yeah. Because, yeah.
Has to be.
Yeah, Mike Conley in Memphis. Active, yeah, it has to be.
Memphis Grizzlies. Conley runs away with it.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? There's 2 more. 2 more because they both have. They're both current on their teams.
Oh, current guys on their teams?
Yep.
So we have 2 more like Giannis.
Yep.
You're saying? Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
No, he hasn't. No, he wouldn't be there long enough. Current on their teams. You know what?
Could it be
Jokic?
I was just about to say something.
I think it'd be Jokic.
I was just about to say
Jokic?
Lock it in.
That is a shot at Fat Lever, who's number 3. Andre Miller's number 4. Jokic is a runaway at number 1.
All right.
In assist leader in the history of the Nuggets.
And then current roster.
One more player. All-time assist leader for their team, and he is on the team currently.
On the team currently. I have to look at the NBA to be able, because I don't think
it can't be. I'm just running through names in my head right now, Kyle.
Yeah.
It can't be like Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum.
I don't
for the
think
No,
Celtics.
Bob Cousy, man. Bob Cousy. Come on now.
Bob Cousy's still the all-time.
Did you know he didn't really know how to dribble?
Dude, he know how to dribble.
No,
That's
he
just
did.
how you were allowed to dribble back then.
By looking at your looking at
Anything
basketball?
else would have been called a
I
carry.
think I'm a better ball handler than Bob
Everything
Cousy.
else would have been called a carry.
Okay.
I'll give you a hint.
Yeah, please.
Number 2 is a Milwaukee Buck right now.
Number 2 is a Milwaukee Buck right now, huh?
So Brooklyn or
Nope.
No, I can't.
I didn't say a Milwaukee Buck player.
oh wait.
Wait,
Number
he has-
2 on this team's list is currently a Milwaukee Buck?
Yes,
That's what you're saying?
but not a player.
But wait, don't it have to be active?
Okay. Doc. Doc is number 2.
Oh, number 2 on this list, and Doc played for the. Dang, who
Is
did
it
Doc-
bad I don't know this?
Wait.
Off the top of my head.
Y'all don't know who Doc Rivers is the number 2 all-time assister for?
Doc Rivers played. Who did Doc Rivers play for in the NBA?
I actually don't know the answer.
Come on now.
I feel like when I see him, we're like, oh yeah, that's right.
Steve texts in, I'm with Kyle. I don't do roller coasters or ghosts.
Hey, yeah, I like not to live on the edge. Who did Doc Rivers play for?
I actually don't know the answer.
That's sad.
That is sad. You're right. I'm in agreement with you on that.
Oh, Trae Young.
Yes.
Oh, sure.
Got it.
That is
Sure.
That is
Got it.
Wow. You know, I guess yeah.
What are we missing? Is that it?
That's it.
That's
That's
it.
it. So Trae Young, LeBron, Trae Young with the Hawks, LeBron with the Cavs, Harden with the Rockets, Chris Paul with the Pelicans, Jokic Nuggets, Curry Warriors, Giannis Bucks, Lowry Raptors, Conley Grizzlies. Your all-time leading assisters for a franchise who are still active in the NBA today.
Coming up next, we will do free throws made.
Nope, that's it. That's all your fun for today. I guaranteed you that you would have fun.
The mothers love it. They
Oh
love
my
the
God,
game.
this was the mother of all joy for everyone. On a Mother's Day, we will actually get back and we'll talk a little bit. By the way, did you figure out if we're running any NBA games today, Kyle?
From what I see here that was posted up, it says no. But you know what? I will double check on the other schedule to see.
Okay, I just don't believe it because the NBA on ESPN is incredible and continues to be fantastic as we go through this round. All of the series competitive. I think, would you say the
How did I do the last time around? I felt like I cooked.
Yeah, I have the updated scores.
Yeah, I want to know because
we're going to do that going into our Palermo picks. Going into our Palermo's picks, I will give our updated scores. Scalzo did not pick all the series, so he was at a little disadvantage, and we'll make sure he gets these picks in. But I would say the most warped series right now would probably be the T-Wolves, even though,
Yes,
even though Golden State, has that, has that home court right now and has the opportunity to tie it at 2, but just without Steph.
It sounds like we don't get Steph until Game 6 at earliest.
Yeah. Which is helped with that extra day off because the WNBA first game, gives an extra 2 days off for Golden State. So that could allow Steph to get back for Game 6. Last night was a really good chance they missed their opportunity, but that's coming.
What's wrong with Draymond?
Not next segment, but the segment after that, we'll have our Palermo's picks as we continue. Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
More Sunday Karma coming up on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
It's happened again. Another local organization switching to business technology from James Imaging Systems. This time, it's St. Anne Center for Intergenerational Care. CFO Sally Parente.
We were unhappy with our previous vendor. It was always a big production. We also had some issues with pricing.
And now with James Imaging Systems,
The service, the value, and the ease with which we can just keep using their service and not having any big headaches. We're getting value here as well.
just what you'd expect from James Imaging Systems, a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed company. AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation.
I love that they're a local company. They've been a wonderful business partner for St. Anne Center.
Make the switch to James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss talking about our friends at Road America, America's National Park of Speed. Get out of your house this summer and go to Road America, located conveniently between Green Bay and Milwaukee and Elkhart Lake. Come see a race at the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road circuit that has hosted some of the best races since 1955. Spring Vintage Weekend with the SVRA is up next on May 16th through the 18th. Camp on site all weekend and enjoy free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult at the gate. Come for the experience and stay for the race. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Make plans to stop by Third Ward Beer Garden at Catalano Square. Experience Milwaukee's favorite beer garden, the perfect spot to meet up with friends in the Third Ward. Open Wednesday through Sunday with live music Thursday through Saturday. Good times and great vibes await at Third Ward Beer Garden.
At Citizens Bank, community banking is you, growing your business with a partner who gets it. It's you, buying your first home with a lender who makes it easy. It's you, building a future with savings that work just as hard as you. And it's us, working together to strengthen our community. Because at Citizens Bank, community banking means you plus us. Visit us at citizensbankwi.bank. Citizens Bank is member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Buying and selling a home can be a stressful process. Hey, it's Jen Latta from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. The We Sell group at Keller Williams has a goal of making it stress-free for everyone. Their passion is people, their availability is unmatched, something I'm experiencing firsthand while I search for a lake home to enjoy Wisconsin summers even more. Rob and Nick are there every step of the way, not just for their sellers, but also to potential buyers and their agents to bring in as many strong offers as possible. Get started today at wesell.kw.com. That's wesell.kw.com.
Nestled along the shores of Lake Michigan, the Knickerbocker Hotel offers a timeless escape in the heart of Milwaukee. Immerse yourself in the rich history of this iconic landmark where charm meets modern luxury. Picture yourself enjoying breathtaking lake views, luxurious rooms, and dining at one of the finest restaurants in the city. Whether you're visiting for a weekend getaway or a special occasion, the Knickerbocker promises an unforgettable experience. Your perfect stay awaits at the Knickerbocker Hotel. For more information and to book your next stay, visit knickerbockerontheLake.com.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
Station updates, show clips, and your place to interact with us every single day just by scrolling through your feed. Follow along on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at ESPN Milwaukee. More Sunday Karma coming up on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Into the 50th minute, as Liverpool's lead has been halved, they lead Arsenal 2-1. Arsenal, this game means more to them than it does for Liverpool. They have a chance to lock up the number 2 spot. They are pretty much already guaranteed to play in Europe next year once again in the Champions League.
Craig, you think Martinelli, you think he can get on the goal? You think he can get on the board again? Get 2 goals today. I found one to get the Gunners right there to tie it up at 2-2.
I don't think so, as I think Liverpool, led by Mo Salah, who will win the Golden Boot this year, will dominate, as they tend to do when they're at Anfield.
I mean, it's just incredible that Mo Salah, though he continues to get older, he continues to be one of the greatest players in the world. I love Mo Salah.
Do you know that
it's like Mo Bamba?
Do you know that if you make one call, that is all you need to make? Because once you make that call, all your worries just disappear like they're a tea and crumpet at an afternoon tea. Because with Gruber Law Offices, they've been through it tens of thousands of times. It's brilliant the way they're able to take your stress and have it whittle away because of their experience and because they are not only nationally recognized, but they're locally owned, so they know what it's like to be a Wisconsinite or to be a Londoner. They only have 2 offices, one out here in the Fulham region of the UK and the other in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So if you're located in either spot, the Gruber family has people there ready to set up you. And they found that in the UK, a lot of expatriates drive on the wrong side of the road. So it leads to injuries. And so if you are ever injured when you're in the UK, you can still make that one call, that's all. And they're here to serve you. And I think that's a really good benefit for all of us, especially as we come down the stretch with only 2 games to go for the majority of the clubs in the Premier League season. So remember, it's not just one call, that's all, because they're not going to take things seriously. It's that you have all of the relief. You don't have to worry about the insurance companies and all that. You could worry about you and your family. So do what I do. Make that one call, that's all, with Gruber Law Offices.
Blimey, bloat, that's incredible.
All right, so
good lad.
From the talk and text line, Colin says, why even add Scalzo to the show if he's never on it?
Oh, wow. Shots fired.
It's a fair point.
Was he not here last week either?
He hasn't been here for weeks.
Fair.
Oh, wow.
Fair point. And we will make our predictions.
He's back next weekend.
But we're going to have his predictions included because he has a deficit based on his lack of attendance because he's probably done better than me. I'm sitting in third with it. Dick says, great Premier League coverage this morning. Thank you.
We do have one person that appreciates it.
Stroufy, this is a football show. Do you know, you don't, like the way you don't know what team Doc Rivers played for, do you know what the first name of the show was?
It was no, I don't.
It was called The Football Show.
Come on. Who let
That
this
was with
kid
Chewy?
on here? You didn't do any type of research on
Then
the
it
show
was
you were
called
doing?
The Miller Lite Football Show.
Okay.
Then it was called the Potawatomi Football Show.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is a football show.
And then
So,
when did it become Sunday Karma?
that was recent. Very recent.
Oh, it wasn't that recent, though. That was like 2020, Craig.
Yeah, that's what I'm
ago.
saying. Yeah, that's
recent.
I mean, in the history of the show, it's
I
the
remember
modern
we did the
era.
name change. We changed it.
It's the modern era of Sunday
Did
Karma.
you say that with a British accent?
No.
Modern era?
Nope. Only when we're talking about what's going on
You were
on the
talking
other
about
side of the pond. So right now, our standings. Scalzo with 5 points. You get 1 point for getting the team right, and then you get 3 points if you get the amount of games right. Scalzo with 5 points. I have 8 points. Kyle, who has been raving about how well he's done, has 12 points. And Stroufy also has 12 points.
Oh.
I feel like I only got one series long last time wrong, and it was the dang Bucks.
So we have 12,
Picked with my
12,
heart.
12,
Join the
12,
club.
8, and 5. Those are that is your score as we go into the second round. The cool thing is it's like, oh, well, you can't pick them now. I think it's like just as hard. I think it's almost harder to pick. Well, I guess no, because there would have been a bunch of Celtics in 5, I would guess, if we had picked that series before the start of it,
Probably
right?
true. Yeah,
I mean,
probably true.
I mean, Kyle, right?
Wow,
if you were
wow.
picking Celtics Knicks, well, I mean, the Celtics
in probably 6.
the
They
Celtics
haven't-
dominated all 4 games against the Knicks in the regular season.
Well, I mean, but based off the first round, I felt like the Celtics, they played the Magic?
We might have seen.
Yeah, they-
I mean,
they
could we
was
have seen
close
a
games.
Cavs? Maybe a Cavs in 5, which is now out of the
I would
mix.
have had Cavs in 6 for sure.
Maybe a Thunder in 5, and that's now not possible as the Nuggets have won multiple games. It would be disrespectful to Jokic, I think, to pick the Thunder in 5, but it wouldn't have been a shocking pick given how dominant the Thunder were this year.
Probably Thunder in 7, if anything.
All right, well, we are going to make those selections when we continue. The one thing, I mentioned it earlier about the Brewers and my concern based on the schedule this month. Mets already up 1-0 against the Cubs today.
Yeah, come on,
good.
Metropolitans.
Anything that should make me feel better. Because I read to you that Cubs schedule. After they finish with the Mets, it's all White Sox, Marlins, and Reds. They play them each twice, except the White Sox once at home in the entire month of May. What, as a Brewers fan, what should I be optimistic about right now?
How many games? 4 series, 12 games? Or is it
Yeah,
like-
something like that. I'm having trouble
Sitting at
finding
19 and
optimism.
21 right now. Is
After
the argument,
yesterday.
remember, we said, hey, if they can get through April at 500, and
Yep.
they kind of did that,
They did
right?
that.
So what's the optimism right now as we sit here in 4th place as a Brewers fan?
You might get a reliable arm and Brandon Woodruff back soon. That's my optimism.
So it's that Myers looked good when he came back. How about that?
Well, Myers just got sent down to AAA, so that's
not optimistic there.
Not always good. It wasn't even an awful outing for him yesterday. He only pitched 4 innings, and he gets sent down to AAA. So
I think it was out of a need thing. They need to bring somebody.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't that more about the options and all that? I mean, because his first game back against Houston was 5 1/3, 6 hits, 1 earned run. Second outing, 4 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs.
Yeah, I mean, it's not awful, but obviously.
I mean, he's 1-0 with a 3.86 ERA and a 1.53 WHIP.
Yeah, he'll be back. I just thought that was an interesting move this morning. But yeah, I'm going to be honest with you, Craig. I'm having a little bit of trouble finding a ton of optimism right now.
What about the fact that how about
There's a lot of season left. I guess that's the optimistic spin I could give you. But you got to win the division if you're going to make the postseason.
What
and
about
this right now? Does not look like a team that's built for a deep run.
What about the fact that Churio has not been at the level? I mean, I don't want to say it MVP we were expecting this year, but I think we were expecting high level, all-star level, right?
Yep.
That Christian Yelich has not started to hit at all this year. He's got a negative wins over replacement.
Yeah, that's a bad thing.
How about the fact that William Contreras has not hit at all this year?
And now he has a broken finger. Yeah.
Yeah. Are we saying those are bad things, or those are like, hey, we're only 2 games under 500 and the core players have underperformed to the start of the year?
What, 40 games into the season?
Yeah, you're starting to say that's more like...
That just might be what it is.
Yeah. Okay.
If you're a quarter of the way through.
You know, Strouf is this way. He gets very pessimistic on his teams when things aren't going his way.
No, I don't.
Yeah, the Packers,
I'm an optimist.
No, you're not. When things... I sat there and I did a pregame show with you, and you picked the Packers to lose to the Vikings when Jaron Hall was the starter on New Year's Eve last year.
2 years ago.
No, but you get pessimistic as soon as things don't go right.
Wow, that Packers defense had a good day that day. You weren't right on that one.
He really likes.
He remembers that. Yeah,
2 years ago.
No, because I know.
Hey, I picked the Pack. I thought the Packers would get lit up by Tennessee Titans this year.
Yeah, and look what happened.
That game?
I'm telling you, he's a.
I mean, but you didn't think they'd win that game, did you?
Against Tennessee? Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah.
What?
Malik Willis revenge game.
With Malik Willis as the quarterback?
I feel good about it.
Revenge game.
You do realize if the Brewers had
If you thought they were going to win that game, then you're an optimist.
I'm an optimist.
Yeah, he's an optimist. Anyone who thought Malik Willis...
He has one example
at
from
the
a year
time,
and a half
the
ago he throws
Titans.
at me.
At the time, I think we thought the Titans had a pretty good defense, and the Packers with.
Pretty sure I thought the Packers were going to win the game. But here's the thing.
you always think that you have the Packers
Craig,
at 17-0.
Craig, I just
when's the
want you to-
last time you picked the Packers to lose a game, Kyle?
When the Chiefs and they 2 years ago and they won. But Craig, you do realize
2 years ago. So he literally picked the Packers to go 17-0. That's my favorite thing about Kyle.
Had the Brewers won their last 3 games instead of lost their last 3 games, you think he'd be sitting here? I just don't feel great.
They would have been in first place. They'd be in first place if that had happened, and the Cubs had lost their games.
How close the games were.
They
wouldn't be talking
but they
all this
almost
way.
got swept by the Cubs last week. They obviously saved the series.
What do you mean almost
They've now
got
lost.
swept? They won the last game.
I said they almost got swept. And then,
so if they would have
now
won the
lost
first
3
game
in a
and lost
row.
the next 2,
last night,
Strophy's in negative town, but we need a little time for our NBA picks. That is coming up next. Palermo's picks coming up next. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
You're listening to Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. All day, every day. The Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today.
Bikers need protection, not just from other drivers, but unfortunately from insurance companies too. If you've been injured in a motorcycle crash, call Gruber Law Offices today. Bikers are often blamed for causing the accident because the insurance companies simply don't want to pay. At Gruber Law Offices, we've been fighting for injured bikers and their families for more than 30 years. Trust us to fight for what you deserve. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Turn your driveway into the basketball court of your dreams with Precision Sports, Southeastern Wisconsin's dealer for Mega Slam, Ironclad, and Dominator hoop systems. From installation to customizable painted court lines, Precision Sports is a slam dunk. PrecisionSportsOnline.com.
Postseason dunks, threes, buzzer beaters. There's so much NBA happening. I gotta keep up.
Whoa, take it easy there. There's a better way to NBA.
all playoffs long.
Wait, really?
With the NBA app, you get real-time stats and scores for every playoff matchup. Witness playoff drama as it unfolds.
Seriously?
Catch every bucket all in one place, all for free.
Where have you been all my life?
There's a better way to NBA. Download the app today. Available on the Google Play, Apple app, and Android stores.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Woo! Hey, this is Ben Brust from Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin. People can't stop screaming about the Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza, and no wonder. There's plenty to scream about, like the buttery stone-fired crust, secret recipe tomato sauce, mounds of whole milk mozzarella, and tons of premium toppings. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer and find out for yourself why Sport called Screamin' Sicilian's Holy Pepperoni frozen pizza the best of the best. Screamin' Sicilian, taste what all the screamin' is about.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel, conveniently located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee's Theater District. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, artist in residence, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
We see you out there, building a life you love, knowing that when inspiration strikes, nothing should get in your way. At Blaine's, we're here to help with everything you need to make it happen at prices that make it possible. Like assorted 5-gallon Midwest can fuel cans, $16.99. Save up to $300 on select Cub Cadet lawn tractors. Plus, as a family-owned business, we offer the Blaine's Best Price Promise, guaranteeing you'll always find the lowest price with us, or we'll match it. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Station updates, show clips, and your place to interact with us every single day just by scrolling through your feed. Follow along on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at ESPN Milwaukee. Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN.
Were they good enough in that game against Philadelphia? Yes. But the narrative that the defense this past season, this is blasphemy.
You're listening to ESPN Milwaukee on 94.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app. It's that time.
Yes, it's finally here.
Craig makes his picks of the week.
You can bet the house on it.
Picks of the week on Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin. Presented by Palermo's Pizza, Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
Can't wait to see what happens next.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Picks brought to us by Palermo's. You heard us raving earlier about the Cheez-It Pizza. Made its KBN debut this week. Made its Good Karma Cafe debut for a very short period of time. By the time I got to it, I split a piece with Hannah. Like there's literally, it was gone. Yeah, it was crushed really quickly. It's so cool. Palermo's locally owned, family owned. So cool that if you're thinking about Screamin' Sicilian, that's Palermo's Pizza. You're thinking about Connie's, that's Palermo's. You're thinking about the new Cheez-It Pizza, that's Palermo's. You're thinking about Surfer Boy Pizza inspired by Stranger Things on Netflix, that's Palermo's. So many different ways to support local and to support Wisconsin's hometown pizza. That is Palermo's Pizza. And summer's right around the corner. Little Summerfest promotion coming up, or you can get some Summerfest tickets. You'll be hearing about that coming up. All right, it's time for our Palermo's picks. Stroufy and Kyle are running away with this, but you know what? We're only through one round out of four. Lots of ball game left. Scalzo not here once again. He has 5 points. I have 8. You both have 12. Let's get right into it. And we have 4 series. Remember, you get 3 points if you get the series exactly right, which you should have a better chance to do since we're doing it after 3 games have already been played. 1 point if you get the team right. Let's start out in the Western Conference, and let's start out in the game that you could hear right here as Kyle's been hyping up for you all day that we are your home for the NBA on ESPN. So, of course, he was aware that coverage starts at 2, game starts at 2:30 as the Denver Nuggets, who fired their coach after game 80. After game 80, they fired their coach. A little round ball rock for you. And now the Nuggets lead the Thunder, who were 68-14, 2 games to 1. Strouf, you want to start us off? Who do you like in this Nuggets-Thunder series?
I like the Nuggets. I like the story. I like Russell Westbrook. Give me the Nuggets in, what did I say originally, Kyle? 6?
6, yeah.
Well, now they're up 2-1.
Yeah, let's stick with it. Nuggets in 6.
All right, Kyle, what are you going to go with?
I actually am right there with them. I'm not going to lie to you. I would have chose the Thunder in 7 based off how well they played in the first series. But after seeing the Nuggets, that's just a championship pedigree. The way they finished out overtime, that's a team that just, they've been there. They're calm. They're cool. They're collected.
Both
they know
of these
exactly
teams very deep.
They are, but one team has championship pedigree.
The Nuggets are the least deep team in the NBA.
Oh, the Nuggets got some good. Well,
have you watched the NBA playoffs?
Wow.
Neither of you obviously have. The Nuggets play 7, and they probably trust 6.
Oh, well, I mean,
they trust 6.
Who's playing more than 7 in the playoffs?
No, you want to play 8 and trust 7. The Nuggets play 7, trust 6, and Porter Jr. has been hurt.
He had a big shot in overtime yesterday. Or 2
no,
days ago.
Porter was great. But I'm saying they're not deep at all. That's the problem with the Nuggets.
I guess maybe when they're deep, we're talking about deep with talent. We got Aaron Gordon making shots. We got Jamal Murray playing. Yes. No, but I wish we had 4. Just
that's a fair point.
Russell Westbrook, my goodness. I would love to have the way
you would not love to have Russell Westbrook.
It's a roller coaster.
You know what he did? He took Sidney behind his home. That was so cool.
Russell Westbrook had an average of 9 feet of open space on his 3-pointers in the first round of the series. Legitimately, that's not an exaggeration. The average analytics was 9 feet.
That's amazing.
That's how open he was left by his former Clippers teammates.
Yikes.
So Nuggets, you both have them closing that out. That would be at home, and the Thunder couldn't get shots off late in that game. You know what? I just want to disagree for the sake of disagreeing. I'm going to go Nuggets in 7 there.
Nuggets in 7?
Yes, so that would mean they'd have to close it out on the road. Let's stay in the Western Conference where the Wolves now lead 2 games to 1 after defeating Golden State in Golden State yesterday. Where do you go there?
I wish it was the Warriors, but no Steph worries me too much. Give me the Wolves. Let's go in 6.
So that means Steph might get back for Game 6. So you think they're going to lose that game at home in Game 6. All right, Kyle, what do you got?
I'm going to go with the Wolves in 7.
Wolves in 7 there. Wolves last year made it all the way to the Western Conference Finals.
I really want the Warriors, but with no Steph Curry, I don't feel confident.
Yeah,
I don't either.
I thought yesterday may have been their best shot. I'm actually going to go Wolves in 5. It kills me to say. It might seem disrespectful to Jimmy Butler here, but I thought yesterday was their best chance to win that game last night. Let's go to the East, where it is the Pacers leading 2-1. Nobody has won a home game. Cavs dominate Game 3. Who do you got?
I think that continues. I will take the Cavaliers in 7.
Cavs in 7, so that would mean they would close that out at home.
That's correct.
Kyle, who you got?
Yeah, this one's tough. I'm actually going to think the Pacers get it back together, and, after this drubbing in Game 3. I think the Pacers actually win in 6.
Okay, so you think the Pacers go up 3-1, and then they lose game, wait. Pacers in what, 6?
6.
Yep, okay. That would follow home teams winning the rest of that series. Pacers, very impressive to this point. I think the Cavs are also going to win in 7 there. I can't. I just can't. It's too close because I'm going to root for whoever I pick. So I can't pick. I can't pick the Pacers at this point. All right, Knicks and the Celtics. I will be there Game 4 tomorrow night in Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena. Kyle, who you got?
I want the Knicks so bad, but I feel like the Celtics will come back and win in 7.
Celtics in 7.
Knicks in 7.
Knicks in 7. So the Celtics, who have actually been better on the road than they are at home, go Knicks in 7 there. That's what, because I don't see the Knicks winning the next 2.
I don't either.
I'm gonna go just so I have a different pick than both of you. I'll go Knicks in 6.
Fun.
And Scalzo will add to our picks. Stay healthy, stay together, survive today, thrive tomorrow. Don't settle Happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers out there. You've been listening to Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin. Remember, Nuggets Thunder, Game 4, coming up right here, coverage beginning at 2 o'clock. Kyle, send us out.
Peace.
This is ESPN Wisconsin and ESPNWisconsin.com.
In Minnesota,